Start it up.
No, it's fine. Welcome to courtroom 1.
Can I be
It's been
co-host?
so long since we worked together.
Oh, are you host or am I co-host? Are you host?
I was host for 1 second. I'm going to make you back host. I just wanted to get my courtroom logged on.
Well, you can make me co-host if you want. If you want to
No,
keep
I
the
make you
reins.
host because
Thank you.
No, make me co-host.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go drop my stuff off, grab my robe. If the prosecutors get here, I'm just going to bring my files out. I don't have adjourn dates from Marianne. So you can do
I
that for
have
me.
them
I
for
appreciate it.
you, but do you have, does
Aw.
everybody just jump in on yours or do you make the waiting room active?
I want you to do whatever you want to. Oh, we always have our waiting room
Okay.
so that our courtroom's not overloaded, but you do how you want to do to get people moved. I'll just look to see who's here. Let me go grab the files and drop my stuff off.
Yep, and I'll bring you the adjournments.
Nope, I'll come get them from you. You stay where you are.
Okay, thank you. You're on mute, Pravanchi.
Curtis Baylaw.
Uh-huh.
He was released from custody March 5th. So
Oh,
not
well,
in custody.
thank you very much.
Mhm.
Phil Howard. On the phone for Phil Howard. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Mia Howard's uncle.
Who's Mia Howard?
She's supposed to be. She was killed by a drunk driver. He's supposed to be on at 8:30.
And what's the name?
The gentleman's name?
Yes.
I'm not sure of his name. I'm sorry.
Okay. Hold on.
Good morning.
Good morning, Larry.
How are you guys?
I'm fine. What case are you here on?
Wait, is this Heather?
This is Heather.
In Judge Martin's court? Okay,
Yes,
you're just all over the place.
Yeah, I'm helping Mary Ann's off this week.
Oh, okay. Hey, I have Mccarron.
Mccarron? Okay, thank you.
I have the Mccarron homicide. APA Regan Lake has the Mccarron child sexual abuse. But I may have to stand in for her depending on her schedule, but she should be joining the court soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And he is in.
Mr. Howard, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room till we're ready for you. That case is not till 9:30, but I do have you labeled to bring you in when it's going on, okay?
Oh, 9:30. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Zoom user, what is your name, please?
I'm sorry, Maggie Howard.
All right. What are you here on?
Robert Merritt.
Okay. Okay, that's at 9:30, just so that you know.
Okay, thank you.
If you choose to wait around, because I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, you can. Otherwise, we are live streaming.
Okay.
If you want to go to the YouTube page on our website, you can watch it from there also.
Okay.
Because I know somebody else by the last name Howard was here just a few minutes ago.
I think my brother-in-law. Yeah.
Yes, he's gone now.
Okay.
So if you speak to him or anybody, you can let everybody know, because I can't bring everybody in. We're not, because I don't know who everybody is for this case.
Okay.
So
yeah.
You can always watch the live stream. Okay.
Okay,
if we
great.
end up losing you. Okay. I'm going to
Okay,
put you back in the
thank you so
waiting
much.
room. You're welcome.
Great. Thanks.
Good morning, Sona.
Good morning, Heather. Are you stepping in today for Mary Ann?
I am.
I can tell you which ones I have.
Please.
Give me 1 second.
Mr. Hamoud, is Mr. Shafra with you?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Do you need a breakout room with the interpreter?
No, we're good actually. I had people interpret yesterday by phone.
Okay, good.
But I don't see APA Gillis. You have multiple APAs.
Correct. She's not here yet.
Okay.
Yep, we're waiting for her. When she comes in, did you need to speak to her?
Yes, just give her some report what we're gonna do, and then we go from there. We will most likely be putting over the case for a couple of weeks because we're trying to resolve it.
Okay. Then whenever she gets here, we can do that. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Sona, which cases do you have?
I'm on Forsythe, Alexander,
Okay.
Edwards,
Uh,
Grooms,
wait a minute. You're going too fast. Where's Edwards and Groom? Oh, nope.
wait, Edwards is at 8:45. Sorry, Courtney Edwards, and then
I don't have a Courtney Edwards on the docket.
it's at 8:45 on my docket sheet that I have.
Let me double check and see if it's, what was the last name? Edwards?
Edwards.
Courtney?
We set it off from last week to this week.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, this is, oh my gosh. I don't have a correct docket. Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Judge, I might need to redo you another docket. I understand that we have add-ons from last week that are not on this docket.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we have add-ons from last week that, this docket was ran too early.
What's
So-
what's too early? Heather, you're scaring me.
I'm gonna bring it into you. Well, because Sona scared me.
I didn't mean to.
Jane,
Is Sona making up stuff?
Yes.
I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Mr. Hamoud
Oh,
with the
okay.
interpreter also.
Yep, I know all about this. I'm sorry I'm late, and then my partner is late too today, and it's just must be one of those moons, you know?
Yeah, hold
You're
on.
not late, Miss Gillis. I was just about to tell everyone today is Wednesday, March 9th. I am Judge Martin. This is courtroom number 1. Our docket today are felonies and some state misdemeanors. If you do not have a felony or state misdemeanor case, domestic violence case, you are in the wrong courtroom. You should check your notice and get logged in elsewhere.
Oh,
I'm gonna bring you in the new docket.
No, what are you doing to me? Ms. Mosigian,
Yes.
there is the possibility that Mr. Miller's case this afternoon, 2:00. Sally Irwin reached out to the court yesterday. She has a scheduling conflict at 2 and she wanted to come earlier. I told her that was not going to happen because of our docket. Thank you so very much, ma'am. But what might happen is if she came on today early enough, we could see about getting either rescheduled or something else. I'm not sure if she reached out to you directly, but I wanted you to know that had been, she spoke to our deputy court administrator yesterday.
Yes, and I believe it's actually for the Lonnie Davis case. She did email me yesterday regarding it. The one before that, so Lonnie Davis is scheduled at 1, and then my one at 12:30 is likely going to be a dismissal. And so I don't know if you would be able to do it at 12:30 instead. I'm only gonna have one witness. It should be very, very fast. So
I'm sorry, James Belleville is going to be dismissed?
likely.
Is that what you said? Okay, I'll do it earlier. It was more my concern about your witnesses and everybody else being early, but I'm here. I'll be here
Yeah.
from now until we're done at 3 o'clock or so. So it doesn't matter to me. What order we doing, man?
Yes, I will definitely try. It's my witness is going to be the officer because the victim related charges are misdemeanor, so those will just carry. I will try to see if I could get the officer in about half hour early. If that works, I don't mind doing it sooner just to get, just so
Okay.
we don't have to adjourn it.
Thank you. I know we have Mr. Forsythe at the jail. I think the issue is that we have not seen Mr. Bickert as of yet. So Heather, if there's anything else that's ready to go, we'll get going on those things.
I see Emily New is here. She's on Richard Graves. He is not on yet. Do you like Miss Bunyak in this room, or should I tell her to go to YouTube?
She can come in because she
Okay.
leaves her camera off, and so she'll just be she'll show as a participant. She won't.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Your Honor, ma'am and Heather,
Yes.
all 4 defendants are present and accounted for.
Thank you, sir.
Are we able to get Mr. Graves on camera? Are you able to rotate because his attorney is here? Please and
Doing it
thank
right
you.
now.
Would it be possible for me to speak with Mr. Graves in a breakout room?
Sure. I'll put you in breakout room right now.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Batar. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. I'm here for all your needs. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Sana.
Good morning.
Morning,
You're
Dan.
here for all of my needs.
Yep. Good morning,
I need a
Heather, as well.
Christmas tree disposed
Good morning,
of. What can you
Dan.
do about that?
Christmas
Dan, I
tree. You
need-
still have a Christmas tree out, Judge?
It's not up. It's back in the bed where the sunflowers usually are. I didn't realize it was in the backyard until this morning.
Dan, if you're here for all of our needs, well, geez, I need you to start playing out some cases, making things move, settling stuff.
Well, for Sona, I would probably do that. For you, Larry, I don't know.
All right.
Checking to see who all these people are.
Thank you, ma'am.
Miss Dornack, what cases are you here on, please?
I just have the Mr. Graves.
Mr. Graves. So you're the prosecutor on that?
Correct.
Okay.
He's in the breakout room with his attorney.
Okay, perfect.
On the iPhone, what is your name, please?
My name is Jerry. I'm the victim of the ZERIHUN. I'm victim.
Do you know what case you're the victim of?
Sorry?
Who the defendant is? Are you looking it up, Judge? Thank you.
SHFA.
Okay, that's what I kind of thought.
0155.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, can you just mute yourself till we're ready for you if we have anything to speak to you about, okay? Officer Adam, what case are you here on? Good morning.
Matthew Morton.
Matthew Morton. All right, he is in the Wayne County Jail. We're just waiting for his attorney.
Okay, thank you. I'm at the 34th court. I didn't know this was virtual, so my apologies.
Well, nice to see
Do you
you.
want to come in?
Are you in the building?
I'm in the courtroom right now, sir. You can
Oh,
stay in your car
absolutely.
if you want to. I was just giving
No.
you a hard time.
I'd rather come in, but I can stay in the car. That's fine.
Dealer's choice. The courtroom's
What-
open. The court officer will bring you upstairs.
Okay, what court are you in, ma'am?
1.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. I'm not sure why people don't think that we're open, Heather.
I
tell people
know.
all the time, I'm physically in the building from 8 to 4 every day. This is not a backdrop. These are real moving
These
pieces
are
here.
real. Well, I did see him in front of the building, so I don't know if the guys told him that it was Zoom. On the iPhone, what is your name, please, ma'am?
Jolisa Dockery.
I'm sorry?
Jolisa Dockery.
Thank you. When we are ready for you, I will bring you back in, or did you want to speak to her, Judge? It's a misdemeanor.
That's what I was looking at, and I know that
Okay.
Mr. Batar is here,
Yep,
so we can.
Thank you.
Ms. Dockery.
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful, ma'am. This is 220118 SM. This is the state of Michigan versus Jolisa Dockery. Would you state your name again for the record?
Jolisa Dockery.
Ms. Dockery, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. Ma'am, for purposes of your arraignment, were you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney, or were you looking to proceed on your own this morning?
Just on my own.
Then, ma'am, I need you to stop what you're doing and pay attention while we go through your arraignment, please. It's alleged that on December 17, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you committed the misdemeanor of assault and battery. This is punishable by up to 93 days in jail and fines of up to $500 plus court costs. For purposes of arraignment, ma'am, how did you wish to proceed?
As far as like payment, you're saying like,
In terms of guilty, not guilty, you're standing mute.
oh yeah, definitely not guilty.
Okay. Ms. Dockery, the court will mark your plea of not guilty on the file. There is a recommendation from law enforcement that your bond be set at 25,000, 10%. What say you in response to that bond recommendation?
I don't really have a response because I don't really.
Ms. Dockery,
Yeah, can you hear me?
are you employed, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm employed.
Where do you work and how long have you been there?
I do Uber right now because of COVID. I was a dental assistant, and I'm currently a student as well.
Prior to the events of December 17th, when was the last time you had contact with law enforcement?
Never. Like I never been.
Never?
Yeah, I never been arrested or anything like that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, the court's going to set your bond at 5,000 personal. You do not need to post any amount, but what you must do is appear at all of your future court dates. You will have the condition of no contact with the complaining victim. Ma'am, no contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact through social media, no contact through third persons, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Should you make any effort to communicate with the complainant, the alleged victim in this case, it could be viewed as a violation of your bond conditions. You could have your bond revoked and spend the rest of this case in custody, understood?
Yes.
Romulus Police also wanted you on GPS tether, but I'll take you at your word that you will stay away from the victim in this case, that being Davery Spearman. We'll set your next appearance date as a pretrial on March the 16th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. That's back here with me in courtroom number 1. At that time, you might be able to entertain an offer from the prosecutor to resolve this matter, okay?
Yeah, so can you explain some more? So like you're saying like the bond is at 5,000, like what do you mean by that? Like that's what I'm gonna have to.
Dockery, if you would stop moving around and listen to me, what I said when I imposed the bond is 5,000 personal. You don't need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at your next court date, which will be March the 16th at 9:30 a.m. back here with me, okay?
Yes, sorry, I just
A
misheard.
notice of, no, it's okay. A notice will go out to you in the mail. We'll see you next Wednesday,
Okay.
9:30. Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
What's
Take care.
wrong, Ms. Dockery?
I just because I was just confused because I thought he was gonna be a part of like this to figure out all that was going on, because I know
That might happen at the pretrial, ma'am, but today is your arraignment, which is your first appearance date where we set the bond and get the case on track, okay?
Okay, thank you. Cause I was, yeah, I was just, yes, yeah, thank you so much.
You can log off, ma'am. Have a good day.
All right,
Okay.
you too.
Do we have Mr. Edgar here? Because his attorney wanted me to text when they're available for him. She thought it was at 8 o'clock. She tried calling me.
It's at 8:30. He's here. The jail's confirmed that he's present. Are we ready on Graves?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is 220159 FY, State of Michigan versus Richard Allen Graves.
Shane Gillis on behalf of the people?
No.
No.
Sorry.
Sorry, Elizabeth. I like just got here and I'm mixed up.
That's okay.
Oh, I
Good
see
morning,
it.
Judge Elizabeth Dornick on behalf of the people, P79420.
And good morning, Your Honor. Emily New with Neighborhood Defender Services, P85234, on behalf of Mr. Graves.
Mr. Graves, would you state your name for the court, please, sir?
Richard Allen Graves.
Thank you, Mr. Graves. Today is the day and time set for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Pardon me?
Your Honor,
How
I'm
are we
prepared to set a
proceeding?
preliminary exam date at this point.
And Your Honor, the defense would also like to set a preliminary exam date. We'd also like, we'd request to address bond at this time as well.
Ms. Dornick, how many witnesses do you anticipate?
2.
Ms. New, any witnesses anticipated?
No, Your Honor.
Could we have this exam completed within a half an hour?
I think so.
My next available exam date is April the 20th, 2022 at 12:30.
Oh.
Fine for
Ms.
people.
Dornick, is that a good date for you?
Yes.
And
Ms. New, is that a good date for you?
that works for me, Your Honor.
We will see you back here on April the 20th at 12:30 for the live preliminary exam. Now, the issue of bond, Ms. New.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Graves is held on, I believe it's a $1,000 bond. That's what I'm seeing from the jail's website. Is that correct?
10,000, 10%.
10,000, 10%. Okay. And so Mr. Graves cannot make that bond. He has been in since he was arrested, and we're requesting that he be released on a personal bond and that the tether requirement in this case be lifted. It's my understanding the complainant in this case does not want to go forward. This is from the discovery I was sent by the state. And that this does seem like something that will be dismissed at preliminary exam. It seems very unfair that Mr. Graves would have to sit in jail until April 20th. And also if he were to get out on a personal bond, that the tether also costs around $200 a month is what my understanding is. It is also often onerous, difficult to charge. It's a constant source of stress for people. It just seems unnecessary in this case, especially where it looks like the charges are going to be dismissed.
Thank you. Ms. Dornick, before you respond, my chief judge is standing here. Let me see what I can help him with before you make your argument.
Yes, Your Honor.
Jane, did you read the chat? Okay, yep, I'll put you in a breakout room. Thank you, Jane. Can you go back in that room you were just in?
Yes. Is that Heather? Where's Mary Ann?
Mary Ann's not here, so it's me.
Ms. Dornick, your response.
Oh.
I'm
Okay,
sorry,
that's
Judge.
fine.
You're ready now?
I am, Ms. Dornick. My
Thank you,
apologies. Your
Judge.
response.
Judge, again, as the court will recall, I actually appeared at the bond arraignment last week and specifically requested that no contact with Mr. John Graves with the home. I pointed out a couple different things. First off, the defendant has a significant criminal history. It's old, it's long, and it's out of state. He clearly has some sort of substance abuse problem, as he indicated to police, I believe 3 days prior to this incident, when he called the police to tell him that a motorcycle gang was going out to get him, that he had taken Suboxone. Then again, there was another police contact before this, the current case he's charged with, again, with a mental health concern or substance abuse issue. I'm not really sure what is the underlying concern or issue, but there is something going on where the defendant thinks that a motorcycle gang is out to get him. It is escalating in such a way that he is now taking guns of his father who is 85 years old. He's taking his 85-year-old father's gun, running around the house and proclaiming that the motorcycle gang is out to get him. This is extremely disturbing to the people. There is some sort of mental health concern here. Mr. Graves' sister agrees with that. Mr. Graves Sr., the defendant's father, agrees with that. That being said, I think that there is a substantial risk of harm, not only to the complainant, but also to other people. Again, there's escalating behavior. He is determined that this motorcycle gang is out to get him. I had asked if he was released on a bond that he'd be required to attend some sort of mental health treatment. And I know the court denied that motion last week. I would again renew that motion. The defendant, I believe, is not employed per his father. And quite frankly, I think he's a flight risk. So with that, Judge, I think the bond is appropriate. I think that, yes, the police reports indicate that Mr. Graves Sr. is not particularly interested in participating in this offense. However, I have talked to him. I have spoken to his daughter as well. And at this point, I'm proceeding. So, Your Honor, I think the bond is appropriate. So I'd ask that that motion be denied.
Ms. New, the court is going to deny your request to modify bond in any way.
Your Honor,
Conversation at arraignment was that the police were called to the home or in response to Mr. Graves at least 3 times over less than 4 days. And there is an extensive criminal history showing in the file. I'll see you here on April 20th unless something comes up in the interim. Anything else in this matter, Ms. Dornick?
No, Judge, if Ms. New would like to contact me, I'm certainly happy to talk to her. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. New?
Yes, Your Honor, I just wanted to ask if, based on what the Ms. Dornick just stated, I do think that perhaps treatment is appropriate in this case. Would it be possible for me to file another motion after having a social worker with my office speak with Mr. Graves? And I will also call Ms. Dornick, and perhaps if we can find a program that makes sense for Mr. Graves, I'd like to come back to the court and present that to Your Honor for a personal bond with release to.
Absolutely. If you and Ms. Dornick work something out, I'll take it by stipulation and not the motion. But if you want to do the motion, that's fine as well.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And Mr. Graves, I'll come
Thank you.
see you.
Mr. Graves, we're all set. I'll see you in April.
Thank you.
Your Honor, ma'am, I have Edgar, Forsythe, and Morton.
I have Edgar, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Okay. Edgar.
Sorry to interrupt.
Mr. Edgar's on camera 1, Your Honor.
Jane is in a breakout room. And Mr. Bickert is not here still. We need him for Mr. Forsythe.
Okay.
Mr. Washington, do you need to speak to Mr. Morton?
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Morton yesterday over in the county jail, so I'm ready when the court is.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
Pravanchi, can we have Mr. Morton?
We're going to do that right now.
Sorry.
And then I know Mr. Edgar's around somewhere and I see Ms. Dunn.
Okay, this is Matthew Morton, camera 1.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is 220143FY, State of Michigan versus Matthew Lee Morton. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, good morning. Reagan Lake P 70433 on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Earl Washington, Neighborhood Defender Service, P31383 on behalf of Mr. Matthew Morton.
Mr. Morton, would you state your name for me, please, sir?
Matthew Lee Morton.
Thank you. Today is day and time set for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding this morning, Ms. Lake?
Judge, we're asking for a preliminary examination.
Ms. Lake, how many witnesses do you anticipate?
2 witnesses, Your.
Mr. Washington, do you anticipate any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Could we have this exam complete within a half an hour?
I think it would be a little more than half an hour with direct and cross of both witnesses, but I don't think it would be more than an hour.
Ms. Lake, what's your schedule on March 28th? Are you available?
Your Honor, I actually am, I'm actually leaving the office, so I think we can make that work. We can put it down for that date and we'll get somebody there.
Mr. Washington, March 28th,
What time, Your Honor?
9 a.m.
Okay. Yes, that looks doable.
Heather, I'm doing it on off time because it's a special prosecutor. So March the 28th, 9 a.m. for Mr. Morton.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Lake?
Nothing from the people right now. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Washington?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Morton, I will see you here for a live exam on March the 28th at 9 a.m. It's courtroom number 1. Thank
Okay,
you.
Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Oh,
All
Ms.
right, have
Lake,
a
the
good
only
day.
thing, I'm sorry, Mr. Washington, the only thing is that on the complaint, the victim's first name is listed as Kevin. It's actually Keith. We'll amend the complaint to reflect the correct name.
Okay.
Thank you.
No
Thank you, Your Honor.
objection. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, have a good day.
APA, where did she go? DOA. What case are you here on, please?
Morning, I'm here on Robert Merritt. Jim
Thank-
O'Donnell is the counselor.
Thank you.
I see Mr. Polk is here, Mr. King is here. I know that's Mr. Mccarron, and I thought I just saw Mr. Mccarron.
Yes, Mr. Mccarron is here.
We're
Mr. McCarron's at
missing,
jail division 2.
thank you. Oh, Ms. Lake is,
Still here.
thank you. Mr. Polk, are you ready for Mr. Mccarron?
Yes, I am.
These are 210644 and 210645 FY. These are both State of Michigan versus Michael Mccarron. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning.
Good.
Reagan Lake P70433 on the CSC.
Good morning, Your Honor. APA Larry King, P78774, appearing on the homicide file.
Good morning, Mayor. Please, this honorable court, Larry Polk on behalf of Mr. McCarron on both matters. Mr. McCarron, state your name for the record.
Michael Dave McCarron, father Anthony.
Thank you, Mr. McCarron. Before we begin, I want to make the attorneys aware that this court has received another correspondence from Mr. McCarron. It's a motion.
Yeah.
What is your first name?
More.
Your Honor, I have not received a copy of that. If the court could provide that, I would appreciate it.
You could send that to me as well, please.
And Judge, I have not received a
Absolutely.
copy of it as well.
I don't have a secretary right now, but Mr. McCarron, I have reviewed it in its entirety. It's Mr. McCarron's motion for defendant Michael McCarron on grounds of violation of the defendant's constitutional right to a speedy trial, 180-day rule and expansion of the record. Mr. Polk, I understand that you've just recently become involved in this matter. We have had multiple PCCs in this matter. For purposes of this morning's PCC, how are we proceeding, Mr. King?
Your Honor, Mr. Polk has reached out to me. He's been provided full discovery in this case. There is one discovery item that is outstanding, that being a forensic phone dump that was just completed by MSP Cybercrimes. It's very voluminous. It has to be transported on physical media. The OIC is working on obtaining a copy of that. I expect to have it in the next few days. With that being said, Your Honor, it's the position of the people that this matter, at least the homicide file, is ready for preliminary examination. I would turn to Mr. Polk to see if he's prepared.
Well, no, I'm not prepared because I just received the discovery. So with that being said, I need to be able to go through the discovery and have discussion with my client in reference to the preliminary exam as well as the hearing of his motion.
And Your Honor, and I was off the last 2 days, so I've not yet provided Mr. Polk with a discovery on the CSC case, but I'll get that to him today.
Perfect, thank you.
You're finishing?
So it sounds as if the parties are looking for another PCC date.
Yes.
How many weeks?
It's DV.
Again, Your Honor, I turn to Mr. Polk with that question. He is the one who is in need of time to speak with his client and review discovery.
Well, Judge, I guess a lot of it is hinged on how quickly that other discovery will be able to get to me, the phone dump, so that it can be reviewed for a preliminary exam. So I would say that a 3 week hopefully will be sufficient if it gets to me this week.
And I would just note on the CSC, there's a Kids Talk video, and we would have to have a protective order signed for that. So I will send that to Mr. Polk, like I said today. And then once he's signed it, send it to the court for Your Honor's signature.
PCC will be adjourned for 3 weeks. That new date is March 30th, 2022, 8:30 a.m. That is in courtroom number 2 with Judge Brian Oakley. In the interim, I will make sure that a copy of Mr. Mccarron's most recent submission is sent out to all 3 of the attorneys. Anything else, Mr. King?
Your Honor, nothing further from the people. Thank you nothing further from the people on my file. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Lake?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Polk?
No, Judge, nothing on behalf of my client.
Mr. Mccarron, Judge Oakley on March the 30th at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Judge. You
welcome.
and staff have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Judge, it looks like we can call the SHFA case.
Thank you, ma'am. This is 220155 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Amir Shah. May I have your appearances, please? You're muted.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Abed Hamoud, P54908, on behalf of Mr. Shfa, who's sitting next to me or kind of behind me, but on the camera at the same time in the same courtroom, in the same conference room.
The interpreter.
Mr. Shah, state your name, please.
Say your name.
Shfa.
Say your full name.
And the interpreter, would you state your name, sir?
Baba Shetty.
Mr. Shetty, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that you will translate English into Amharic and Amharic into English to the best of your ability?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Hamoud and I have worked out a sort of community-based program that we'd like to, in an effort to resolve this situation as
You're muted.
I don't know why that always happens. I get muted.
Community-based program.
Yes, a community-based program where they'll work out some counsel with the elders in the community and see if we can resolve it that way. So we'd like to come back in about 8 weeks, the next time you're on. And I've talked to the victim and he's on board with this.
That's correct, Your Honor. And my client also understands that. And I believe the date we were looking at to come back from Your Honor will be April 20th. And we're prepared to waive the 14 days rule in order for us to come back later, and there will be no issue.
We will adjourn the PCC to April 20th, 2022 at 8:45 a.m. Back here with me in courtroom number 1.
Your Honor, can we do this in person?
We most certainly can. How will Dr. Sheedy, would you be available on that date, on the April 20th date?
Hopefully I'm traveling tomorrow, and by then I hope I will make it. If not, I will let the court very early.
Anything else, Ms. Gillis?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Hammoud?
Yeah, one more thing, Your Honor. Part of the process, there could be a time where my client and the victim be in the same room together with the elders. We just want to make the court understand this is kind of not violation of the bond because there's no assaultive contact, because the bond, I believe, has a no contact. I was not there at the time. Make sure the court permits my client to be there with other people in the same room and no assaultive contact.
Mr. Sahun?
Yes.
You were able to hear the parties just now?
ገብተዋል ወይ ነው የሚሉ አሁን
ያ
ከቻልክ ቀጥልበት።
አይ እኔ ብዙም የመናገሩ እንትኑ የለኝም። ቅድም እንደተናገርኩ ነው። እርሶ ቢናገሩልኝ ደስ ይላል።
Yeah, he understands, and he's in agreement with the process by which this is being approached as a solution, as a resolution rather than solution.
And he agrees to the no assaultive contact.
አሁን ምንድነው የምትልህ? ይሄ ህጉ ሁለታችሁ እንዳትገናኙ ወስኗል። በተለይ በሱ ላይ ግን ለዚህ ለሽምግልናው ሲባል ግን አንድ ላይ መምጣት ይኖርባቸዋል። ምክንያቱም መነጋገር ስላለባቸው ፈቃደኛ ነህ ወይ ነው?
ምንም ችግር የለ። እኔ ራሴን ዲፌንድ አድርጌ ነው እንትን ያልኩት። እኔ እሱ ጋር አልደርስም። እኔ ለጸብ የምጋበዝ አይደለሁም። ለሰላም ሁኔታ ከመጣ ከሰው ጋር ተነጋግሬ ዳግመኛ እንዳይደርስብኝ እንዲሆን ብቻ ነው እኔ የምፈልገው። እኔ ወደ ስራዬ ለመሄድ ነው የምፈልገው።
Yeah, I'm a law-abiding person. I don't want to be in trouble in any way. But as long as, this is moving forward to that direction, whenever there are elders and other community people trying to, intervene and find a resolution to this, I have no problem. So I welcome it. So, yeah.
I also think, Your Honor, it will be, they won't ever be alone in a room together. It will be with a elder in the community.
Understood. So the bond will be amended to no assaultive contact to allow this community-based resolution, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate your time. We took off your time today. No, Your Honor, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
You're so welcome. We'll see you back here in April. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
The jail, can we please have Alexander Forsythe, please? Mr. Bickert, do you need to speak to Mr. Forsythe? You're on mute.
Yes, briefly. And good morning, Your Honor. I apologize. I was on mute when I responded.
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you as well, Your Honor. It seems to never fail with me. Always something
I have
going on.
Mr. Forsythe on number 1.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Bickert. I already put him in. Where's Wayne County? Wayne County, can you just push the button to join that breakout room?
Let's see.
If you touch your screen, there should be a choice to go in breakout room 10. Thank you.
Ms. Dunn has been waiting ever so patiently.
She is. Sorry, Miss Dunn, but we were waiting for Jane. Are you and Jane prepared to go on Edgar, or do you need to speak?
No, no, we're good, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Where's Mr. Edgar?
Mr. Edgar's in jail.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He was on. Judge, we're just studying this for exam in person.
You want to do that without your client?
I'll waive his presence for this. I just saw him at the jail the other day. He knows exactly what's going on.
These are 220063FY, 220052FY, 210509FY, 220053FY. These are all state of Michigan versus Sean Kelly Edgar.
Hayden Gillis on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. My name is Susan Dunn. My P number is 58696. I represent Mr. Edgar on all of these cases.
Thank you. Ms. Dunn, before the case was called, you indicated that your client's presence would be waived for this PCC and that you were seeking to have the exam scheduled, correct?
Correct, Judge.
In as much as there are 4 cases, how long would the parties need to conduct the exam?
I'd say 2 hours at max. What do you think, Ms. Gillis? They're not capital offenses or anything, Judge. They're relatively short cases.
Most
And
of
I may waive one when we get there. I have to put that out a little bit. So there may only be 3.
Most of the cases involve only one witness except for one case.
Is discovery complete in all 4 cases?
Yes, ma'am.
The issue is that a 2-hour block of time would eat up the majority of my exam time for April 20th. So if you want to do April 20th at 1:30, I would give you the rest of the, from 1:30 to 1:30 to 3:30.
That'd be great,
Is
Judge.
that what you need? Okay. We will do live exams in all 4 of Mr. Edgar's cases on April the 20th at 1:30.
That's
I'm sorry,
perfect.
did I ask you that? I forgot that fast. Discovery complete in all matters.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Discovery complete, live exam, April 20th at 1:30. Anything else, Ms. Gillis?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Anything else, Ms. Dunn?
No, Your Honor.
See you here on April 20th. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you, Ms. Gillis.
Thank you. What's their name? She is really lovely. Judge Martin, I have a young prosecutor here. I might pop on for a couple PCCs. Straight there, Daniela. Say your last name.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I see you're probably right across the hall from me right now.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Walter.
Sorry, thank you.
Good morning.
Not quite ready for you, sir, but when I call your name, please have your cap off and be ready to proceed.
Okay.
Heather, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was just gonna let you know, I brought him in while we were waiting for the jail.
Yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I. And you just tell me.
Thank you. These are 21BL00718 B and C. These are State of Michigan versus Gabriel Walter. Sir, state your name for me again, please.
Gabriel Walter.
Jane
Mr. Walter,
Gillis on
today
behalf
is the day. Thank you, Ms. Gillis. Today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. These regard incidents that occurred on October 21st, 2021 in the city of Belleville. Sir, for purposes of arraignment, were you looking to proceed on your own this morning, or are you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney?
Preferably the assistance of the court-appointed attorney.
Thank you, sir. The offenses are driving while unlicensed or without cycle endorsement, and there's a registration or plate violation. You're going to see an invitation to go into the breakout room with Mr. Bitar. Please go there and speak to him. When you're done, you'll come back out. We'll do the arraignment, okay?
Okay.
One for one.
you.
One for one, Mr. Bitar. You have birds in the background.
I know, right? Why don't I see that on here?
On the second page.
Good morning, Mr. Baloff. I thought I just.
The wrong car.
You did. I accidentally grabbed him instead of Mr. Walter. I'm bringing him back in though. He's Tyrone's.
That too.
Mr. Baloff is Mr. Bickers as well.
He is, yes, sorry.
Thank you.
And it won't let me move him back.
Guys, I probably didn't give you one. I did the first time and I did this time.
Do they have anything? Because I'll take that just so I have them.
Would you bring in Ms. Taylor and her client, Ms. Bryant, please?
Yes.
Thank you. They're a little early, but I'd rather.
Yep. Miss Neal, do you have your client, Mr. Smith, with you, or are we waiting for him?
He is actually in custody in Pontiac.
Ms. Taylor, they're bringing your client in. We're going to call your case just a little early. We're waiting for some jailers, okay?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Did you hear that, Judge? Mr. Dennis?
Ms. Neal's custody is in client in Pontiac.
Yeah, were we aware of that, Miss Neal?
I'm not sure if you were aware of it. I thought you were and would have had a hold on him, but I did not make that aware. He just went in custody on Thursday, I believe.
Okay, then we wouldn't have known.
He has also retained another counsel and he started trial today, so I'm not sure if you want to set this for another PCC or.
This is 220094 SM, State of Michigan versus Sandria Bryant. Appearances, please.
Good morning, Alexandria Taylor for Sandria. We're appearing via Zoom this morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sonam Obsesian on behalf of the people, P83923.
Bryant, please state your name for me.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Sandria Bryant.
Thank you. Today's the day and time set for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding this morning?
I'm still waiting on discovery. So maybe an adjourned PCC date so I can review that.
Your Honor, I had
How
sent
long am I
discovery last week to defense counsel.
What day did you send it, Madam Prosecutor?
I can look it up right now if you give me 1 second. It was March 3rd.
All right, let me double check.
How
I
long
mean,
of
I
adjournment
don't
are you
mind,
looking for, Ms.
I don't mind
Hager?
resending the link either. It's not.
Yeah, if you can resend the link for me.
Ms. Taylor?
Yes.
How long of an adjournment, ma'am?
2 weeks should be good.
2 weeks puts us on March the 23rd at 8:45 a.m. with Judge Oakley in courtroom number 1. I'm sorry, number 2.
What time did you say again?
8:45 a.m.
Okay.
on March the 23rd in courtroom
Zoom
number
still,
2.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Are we all set?
Anything else, Ms. Mosizen?
Yes, do you mind? I just want to make sure I have the correct email, that you're getting it. So do you mind putting in your email again in the chat and then be confirming with me? And I'll put my email as well, just so I can ensure that you get the discovery.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. I just put mine, and if you want to put yours.
I will.
in.
Thank you.
Anything else on behalf of the people?
No, that is all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Taylor?
Nothing else.
Have a good day, Ms. Bryant. Have a good day, ma'am. Good luck.
Thank you.
This is 220137 FY, State of Michigan versus Alexander Forsythe.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Sona's case.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear too well. I heard the case called, may it please the court, Your Honor,
It's
Tyrone
Mr.
Baker.
Forsythe's case. We're just waiting for Ms. Mosizen to make her appearance.
I'm so sorry, Your Honor. Sona Mosizen on behalf of the people, P83923.
And may it please the court, Your Honor, Tyrone Baker, depending on behalf of Mr. Forsythe, who's present via Zoom, Your Honor, P number 62647.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned PCC in this matter. Sorry, today is the day and time for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we would respectfully request and examine this matter. I would like to address bond at the appropriate time.
Ma'am, how many witnesses do you anticipate?
We would likely have 2, possibly 3.
Mr. Bicker, do you anticipate any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Are you available on March the 28th in the afternoon?
So. I think that day would be fine, Your Honor.
You said the 28th, Your Honor?
The 28th at 1 o'clock?
Yes, that works for me as well.
3/28 at 1 p.m. for a live exam for Mr. Forsythe in courtroom number 1.
I don't believe, defense counsel, do you have all of discovery?
I have paper.
Okay. Do you mind putting your email in the chat to make sure I get you the digital discovery as well?
That'd be fine.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I would like to address Mr. Mr. Forsythe's bond.
Yes, sir.
Simply, Your Honor, as the court can clearly see, Mr. Forsythe is still in custody. I believe his bond is currently $10,000, 10%. This is a situation, the complaint in this case, and Mr. Forsythe are married. Mr. Forsythe he can live with his mother in Livonia. He does not need to return to the residence. I'm asking the court to consider a personal bond for Mr. Forsythe. He does not have any means to post bond, Your Honor. This case, in essence, is a domestic case. And I don't say that to diminish the seriousness at all. I say that to say that I believe that as long as the parties are separate, that there's no issues. I would also indicate, Your Honor, that as it relates to the allegations, my client had a week and a half prior to the incident, had started a brand new medication. He's diagnosed with a mental illness. He had just started a new medication a week and a half prior to this incident, Your Honor, which we believe had a negative reaction with his medication and may have contributed to this incident. He has since stopped taking that. He has been receiving not jail, but prior to that was receiving treatment. I would ask the court to consider a personal bond for Mr. Forsythe. His mother, I believe, is present on the Zoom, or at least in the waiting room. I see Alex Forsythe's mom. And again, that's where he would reside. I know normally in a case like this, Your Honor, I think that there might be a consideration for a tether. I would ask the court in this particular instance to consider not imposing the tether condition, for the simple fact is that the tethers are so backed up, Your Honor, that Mr. Forsythe basically would not be released prior to his exam date. So that's the situation, Your Honor, and I asked the court to consider a personal bond for Mr. Forsythe. I think that as long as he remains away from the home, that there'll be no issues or problems in this situation, Your Honor. And I would indicate, Your Honor, that I don't believe that Mr. Forsythe has a prior criminal history. At least I don't see a prior felony record. I apologize if I'm misspeaking. I'm not 100% certain.
Ma'am.
Your Honor, yes, the people would object to at least a personal bond if the court would like to reassess the monetary bond. The people understand the nature of this case being domestic. However, it also involved various elements, including the fact that part of the assault actually happened in public, where an off-duty police officer was able to witness it. And then the encounter that the defendant had with that off-duty officer is extremely concerning, given the fact that the defendant made threats to that officer when the officer was only trying to help the complainant in the situation. And then the defendant ended up barricading himself, his wife, and their infant child in the home, not letting the police enter to ensure the safety of the complainant. There was also an obstruction, assaulting, obstructing, and resisting arrest charge, in addition to the unlawful imprisonment charge, which is a very significant charge, and the people do not make that one lightly. And therefore, the defendant doesn't have any prior felony charges. However, he does have a prior domestic violence charge. And even though the medication may have been an element to his reaction this last incident, that doesn't mean that has been always the case in their relationship. And therefore, even if the judge would, or even if the court is to allow the defendant to be released, we would request some sort of tether. I believe the tether backup is only a couple days. The last that I heard, it was maybe 4 days that it took them to get a tether on. And therefore, we just want to ensure the safety of not only the complainant, but also the public, given the significant nature of the unlawful imprisonment charge, specifically with how many officers it took to have the complainant exit the home and then also to have the defendant arrested.
Anything else, Mr. Bickert?
Just that, Your Honor, again, my understanding is that the tether back up at this point is 2 weeks at least. That's my understanding. Again, things do change, but that's what I've received in the last couple of days, and then that's where it's at. But again, I know things do go back and forth, but tether has really become there have been several times recently where courts have been adjusting because of that situation. It's very bad. But again, I know we're not here to argue the tether back up.
Also, Judge, I'm sorry, if I may, just to make also clarification, this charge occurred when the defendant had just pled back on February of 2022 to a DV charge. And so he not only committed a new domestic violence charge But it was while he had just pled guilty to a prior one and was already on probation for that charge, meaning he should not have picked up any new additional charges, let alone another domestic charge.
Mr. Bickert, respectfully, the court's going to deny your request to modify bond at this time. The parties will be back here on March the 28th at 1 p.m. for the live exam. Anything else on behalf of the people?
No, that is all. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Bickert?
Well, no, Your Honor, I would, well, yes, Your Honor. I would ask that the court would just reconsider with the tether condition.
Well, sir, if you're telling the court that the backup is 2 weeks and he's going to be, Mr. Forsythe will be here in 3 weeks,
but
it's going to be one or the other. It's going to be cash or it's going to be tether. I don't really know what the prosecutor is saying in regards to what happened. If there was this barricaded situation with a woman and a child, it's going to be cash or it's going to be tether. Which is it? You pick.
Well, Your Honor, my understanding is that Mr. Forsythe doesn't have any funds, Your Honor. So at the end of the day, he'd rather wait for a tether and be able to get out some point with a tether than not be able to get out at all.
Ma'am?
Is that correct, Mr. Forsythe? Is that a correct statement?
Correct.
He said that's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Simpson?
Judge, I mean, I believe the people have made our position clear. We'll leave it up to the discretion of the court.
Mr. Bickert, I understand what you're saying, and I guess the concern is that the people's statement is that your client had a DV and picked up a new case while that case was still pretty fresh, and it's just, you have a public safety concern, and heaven forbid, something happened while he's out on tether with no cash, and what happens with that. When we look at what the purpose of bond is public safety. Is there some previous failure to appear? Is there a criminal history? Even though Mr. Forsythe's criminal history is not necessarily assaultive in nature, it dates back to 2011.
I think, Your Honor, if Mr. Forsythe is on a tether and it's a different city, Your Honor, you know, at the end of the day, if he leaves if the court were to put him on house arrest, I mean, at the end of the day, or if he leaves that area, or if he enters the area that he's not supposed to enter, the zone that he's not supposed to enter, the tether unit has been very proactive in addressing those situations. I think more so than in the past. But I understand the court's concern. I understand the prosecution's concern. I do think that a tether would alleviate those concerns in this particular case.
And he's gonna tether to his mother's address in Livonia.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bickert, reluctantly, the court will grant your request 10,000 personal with the GPS tether. He's not to return to the Willow Way address. I'll see you here on the 28th of March.
Mr. Forsythe, if you were to be released on tether, you are not to go anywhere near the home or your wife at all for any circumstance. Do you understand that, Mr. Forsythe?
Yes,
I
I
see him
do.
nodding. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll see you on March the 28th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Bickert, did you need to speak to Mr. Bailoff, or are you ready to proceed?
I do need a minute, Your Honor.
Mary-
I do need a minute.
Marianne will put, not Marianne, Heather will put you into a breakout room with him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are we ready on Walter?
Yes, we are, Judge.
21BL00718B and C. May I have your appearances, please?
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Beshear on behalf of Mr. Walter. For arraignment purposes, waive a formal reading, stand mute, please. I have reached a resolution with the prosecution judge and my client. The driving without a cycle endorsement charge will be dismissed. The registration and plate violation will be modified to a civil infraction, no registration. And he will tender a responsible plea to that.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Walter, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. You were able to hear the prosecutor were you able to hear Mr. Bitar just now?
Yes.
Is your understanding that you will be tendering a plea of responsible to the added civil infraction of no registration and that the other matters will be dismissed?
Yes.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible.
Correct.
And you're pleading responsible because you are in fact responsible.
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on October 21st, 2021, in the city of Belleville, you're operating a vehicle of some sort with no registration?
Correct.
Satisfied, Ms. Gillis?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Bitar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the no registration, assess fines and costs of $200. There was a $50 warrant fee, so that's a total of $250. Are you able to pay that within 5 days, sir?
Yes, I am.
You can go online and pay it. You can bring it to the court or you can mail it to the court. Anything else on behalf of the people?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Bitar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walter. Good luck to you. You're all set, sir.
Thank you.
Heather?
Yes, Judge.
Who's next?
Do you want to, where did he go? Mr. Batty, Attorney Batty is here from Mohammed. I'm going to start bringing in other ones that are attached.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is 2S4-016370. This is State of Michigan versus Beshear Mohammed.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Danny Batty appearing on behalf of Mr. Mohammed. He is here and present by way of Zoom, and we have no objection to appearance by Zoom, Your Honor.
State your name for me, please, Mr. Mohammed.
Got
You're
on
muted, sir.
He was struggling with the Zoom. I was helping him.
All right, you hear me now? Okay, it's Beshear.
Yes, sir.
Salah Mohammed.
Today's the day and time for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter.
Okay.
For purposes of arraignment, sir.
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we waive a formal reading, stand mute, as the court to enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Mohammed.
And for the pretrial, sir?
I have not had an opportunity to speak with, I believe it's going to be Ms. Gillis. If I could have a few minutes, I believe we'll be able to resolve the matter, Your Honor.
Ms. Gillis?
That's fine if he wants to talk to me in a breakout room.
Doing that now. Jane, can you go back in number 3?
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we want to handle Miss Neal's case and Dennis Smith? We can just adjourn it out, Judge.
We can do that, Miss. Oh, Dennis Smith. There's 2 Smiths. Let's grab the right one. 220014 FY, State of Michigan versus Dennis Tyrone Smith.
Naja Neal on behalf of Mr. Smith.
I'm sorry, Jane's in a waiting room.
She's in a breakout room 3-9. We were looking for just an adjournment in this matter, Ms. Neal.
Yes, Your Honor.
How far out?
About a week or two is fine.
The issues that Mr. Smith is in custody in Pontiac, was that the
Actually,
story?
Yeah, so his next court date is on the 15th, so I would just ask that it be maybe 2 weeks will be fine.
2 weeks? 1 week was me, 2 weeks is with Judge Oakley. 2 weeks sufficient?
Yes.
So Heather, should we set him as an in custody on the 23rd?
We can, that's fine.
Only because if he still is, just let Ms. Gillis know. We're adjourning the PCC to March the 23rd, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. Oh, Ms. Gillis is back. This is Dennis Smith. Adjourning the PCC to March 23rd, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. And that's in courtroom number 2 with Judge Oakley.
3:23 at what time? I'm sorry.
8:30.
8:30. Okay.
And number 2, anything else, Ms. Gillis?
Are they all set with discovery?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. So it's just adjournment. Okay, great. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Neal?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
You too.
Was that sufficient time in the breakout room, Ms. Gillis?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We are
On
ready.
the record, Mohammed, how are we proceeding this morning?
At this time, yeah, we're going to set the matter out for a bench trial.
I can't hear you, sir.
I apologize. I said we're going to set the matter out for a bench trial, Judge.
In the interim, the bond in this matter will be set at 5,000 personal. Discovery complete?
Almost, Judge. I just got to get one other piece of information.
Bench trial live or by Zoom?
By Zoom is okay.
I can't hear you in your heads now.
I apologize. By Zoom is okay, Judge.
Can we do it at the end of the morning docket on the 20th, April 20th?
Just double check my calendar. I believe that's okay. Yeah, that looks good for me, Judge.
Gillis, April 20th at 11 a.m.
Sounds good.
Anything else, Ms. Gillis?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Batty?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Mohammed, I'll see you back here on April 20th, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Franelak, do you need to speak to the prosecutor or are you ready to go on Mr. Ostrowski?
If that could be placed in with Ms. Gillis, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we know who the prosecutor is on Mr. Littner's case?
It's me, I'm here.
Okay, I do have that. So if you want to do that one, Judge, while I put Jane in a breakout room.
Absolutely, 22087 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Terry Littner.
Good morning, Kelsey Heath on behalf of the people, P83350.
Who's the attorney from NDS for Mr. Littner?
Emily New. She's on.
Hi.
There she is.
Hey, I'm here. Good morning. Emily New on behalf of Mr. Littner with Neighborhood Defender Services, P85234.
Mr. Littner, please state your name for the record.
Terry Littner.
Today is the day and time set for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding?
I'm sorry?
I'm asking the attorneys how we're proceeding. Today is the PCC.
Well, Your Honor, Miss Heath did send me the discovery in this case, so at this time I would just ask that it be set for a preliminary examination.
I'm sorry, you said she has sent you your discovery?
Yes, Your Honor, she has. I received it. I believe it was either yesterday or Monday. I believe it was Monday. I did receive it.
Ms. Heath, how many witnesses do you anticipate?
Most likely just the complaining witness, Your Honor.
March 30th in the morning. Are you available, Ms. Heath?
Let me look right now, Your Honor.
Judge Mary Ann's covering my docket that day.
I am available
Wait,
on March
what?
30th, yes.
Nope. It looks like I would have no recorder on that date. What about the next day, the 31st?
Let me see. I am not available on the 31st. I have another exam in the 36th District Court.
Computer's really sensitive because right now I'm.
Heather, I have no.
I don't know if you're not swamped on your regular exam dates, if it's not going to take long, I'm not sure. Otherwise, I don't know either.
What about Ms. Heath, April 20th?
Let me see. April 20th. I just set an exam about an hour ago, a pretty lengthy exam also in 36th District Court on the 20th. Other than the 20th and the 1st, that works for me, the 27th. Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. New?
That works for me, Your Honor.
April 27th at 12:30, live exam for Mr. Littner. April 20th at 12, I'm sorry, April 27th at 12:30, courtroom number 1 with me. Anything else on behalf of the people?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Anything else on behalf of Mr. Littner?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Littner, I will see you here at 12:30 on April 27th, sir. Have a good day.
Is that going to be on Zoom? That's on Zoom,
No,
right?
sir, in person.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Littner, I'll give you a call in a few hours, okay?
Okay.
Ready with
Thank
Mr.
you.
Bailoff?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is 210076 FY, State of Michigan versus Curtis Todd Bailoff. Your appearances?
May it please the court, Your Honor, Tyrone Baker, appearing on behalf of Mr. Baylog.
Oh, where is he's? Oh, he's still in the breakout room. Let me bring him out.
Who are you bringing out?
Mr. Baylaw. He's still in the
I
breakout
thought I
room.
heard him. And who's the prosecutor?
Morning, Your Honor. I'm sitting in for Jane Gillis. Daniela Parrish for the people, P85495.
This matter was scheduled for PCC this morning. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we're respectfully requesting an exam of this matter.
Is discovery complete?
I have paper. I would ask and request that any video discovery be sent. This case is from 2019. So I don't know what the status is as far as if there is any video discovery or not, but I would like to make a record that we certainly are requesting that.
I will take a look to see if there is any. I don't see any right now, but I will take a look. If we do have it, I'll send that over to you by tomorrow.
That's fine. And Your Honor, just for the record, I'm specifically looking for any body cams. This is a case where it's alleged that items are removed from a vehicle, et cetera. So definitely looking for any kind of scout car or body cam. Thank you, Madam Prosecutor.
Do we have
Live
your
exam?
Okay.
I just put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Live exam, April 20th, 2022 at 1 p.m. here in courtroom number 1. Anything else on behalf of the people?
No, can you repeat that date, please, though?
April 20th at 1 p.m. Courtroom number 1.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That'd be fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bailo, we're all set, sir. You have a good day.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bailiff, just
Um,
call me that number.
All right, I'll talk to you. Thank you.
Ostrowski, we're ready to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor.
210758 FY State of Michigan versus Scotty Lynn Ostrowski.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniela Parrish for the people, P85495.
And good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Kiana Franulik, P73015, on behalf of Mr. Scott Ostrowski, both appearing via Zoom. Mr. Ostrowski, please state your name and if you consent to having this matter heard via Zoom.
Scotty Lynn Ostrowski.
And do you consent to Zoom?
Yes.
Thank you. Is it Parrish?
Parrish, yes, Your Honor, like itch with a P in the front.
Today is the day and time set for the adjourned PCC. How are we proceeding in this matter?
Your Honor, unfortunately, we are asking for one more PCC, but I think the short-term just a short-term adjournment. I am retained counsel from originally appointed counsel. I did contact him for the discovery, which I've been advised is paper as well as digital dash cam/body cam. But I have not yet received it. I did advise the people that I've made that request, and she indicated she would get it to me. So I'm thinking that we need maybe 2 to 3 weeks out for just an adjourned PCC, and at that time be able to make a determination as to whether or not the matter will be set for exam.
That is correct, Your Honor, no objections.
PCC adjourned to March the 23rd, 2022, 9:30 a.m. Courtroom number 2 with Chief Judge Brian Oakley. Anything else on behalf of the people?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else on behalf of the defendant?
Your Honor, will that be via Zoom or will it be in person?
It will be by Zoom, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Ostrowski, March the 23rd with Judge Oakley. You have an outstanding matter in this case, sir, in this court, sir. You have $1,265 due and owing to the court on another matter. Your payment was due on March the 1st. Please correct that oversight, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Good morning,
Well done,
Mr. Noakes.
Ostrowski.
He just now connected, Judge.
I see.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you? It's been such a long time since I've seen you.
Good to see you, sir. Miss Lomanak.
Yes.
Have you been in contact with her, Mr. Noakes?
No, she's still in the Macomb County Jail.
Okay.
And unless a writ was issued, I don't believe she's present today.
Well,
I'm gonna guess not because I was not aware, and I would have been the one to do that.
so let's.
But
This is
Mr.
201.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Mr. Lomanek, it looks like we spoke back at the end of December. Have you've still been in contact with Miss Lomanek only because we've been getting all those letters from her?
I have not received anything from her. And the last time I spoke with her was sometime in January.
Okay, good.
And
Okay.
my understanding was she's going to be in custody there at least until May.
Okay. And unfortunately, if she's coming in on somebody from Macomb County, I don't have anybody in our waiting room with that. So you can proceed, Judge. Sorry.
This is 201-488 FY State of Michigan versus Sarah Renee Lomanak. May I have your appearances, please?
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
May it please this honorable court, William Noakes, P 42796 of the Neighborhood Defender Service of Detroit on behalf of Ms. Sarah Lomanak.
Thank you. The last time the parties were here appears to be October 20th, 2021. And there's an indication that Ms. Lomanak was incarcerated in Macomb. And it does not appear that there was notice sent to Macomb Jail to get her on this morning.
Actually, it looks like I sent something on September 28th. When was the last time that her hearing was going to be? I'm sorry.
It was, October 20th.
Your
October
Honor,
20 okay.
She was on Zoom at that hearing.
Okay. I'll take it down that I either was not made aware of today's hearing and or it doesn't look like I have been in contact with them when I was at the last one.
So we should adjourn the PCC over how long?
Can we do it 1 week? Is that possible, Heather?
It should be. I have the email for the person that I need to contact there.
Okay, and can I talk to Mr. Noakes briefly?
Yep.
You may. We're putting this over before you leave March the 16th, 2022, 8:30 a.m. back here with me in courtroom number 1. Before you leave, anything else, Ms. Gillis?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Noakes?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
You're
Heather, if you want to
welcome.
get them where they need to be.
Can you go to a breakout room with me, Mr. Noakes?
Yep, Jane, go back into number
Absolutely.
1, please.
Number 1.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Sullivan, good morning.
Good morning, Judge. I apologize. I've been delayed this morning.
None of your people
Why
are
you
here.
apologizing. As long as I'm here, you're never too late, sir.
Okay. Mr. Edwards should be on his way. I think Mr. Grooms, my understanding is that he's in custody, but I'm a little confused. Sheriff Connect shows him in a division mental health treatment programs. So I've reached out to Sergeant Coho to get a little bit more information about that. If I may have a breakout room with Ms. Movsisian about Mr. Edwards before we proceed.
Yep.
Thank you.
Miss New, do you need to speak to Mr. Loy? Or Mr. Lowe?
Yeah, yes, I do need to get his contact information.
Okay, I'll put you guys in a breakout room.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, looks like we have a pair, but we don't have a prosecutor. Oh, yeah, because Miss Cox is supposed to be on Salvador Guzman. And I don't have her in the waiting room.
Okay. Am I bringing these files to you?
Yep, I'll be taking them.
No, okay. I'm gonna bring them right now so I can stand up and stretch. Maybe by that point, people
We'll have somebody. Good morning, Mr. Amadeo.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine. Have you been in contact with the prosecutor?
Yes, we're good. We're ready to go on the plea.
Well, I don't have the prosecutor is the problem.
Oh, Carly Knox, I believe she's in your waiting room.
No, she's not.
Okay, let me text her real quick.
Yeah, make sure that she's in the right waiting room.
Will do.
Miss Doa, I see somebody in the waiting room under Merritt. He has checked in, but his attorney hasn't. That's our wait on that one.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that he'd sign on.
Yep. And do you know all of the victims that are going to be appearing? Not the victims, but the witnesses?
It's a PCC today. There are no witnesses.
Well, there's people showing up. I've had multiple people, and I just don't know if any of these other.
It's likely family members that are.
Right, but I don't know what the family members' names are, so I don't know if to bring them in.
They should just be watching on YouTube. They have the YouTube links.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jane, you're muted if you're trying to talk. If not, that's okay.
I was trying to talk, but not to the court.
Oh, good. Okay.
Explain. I'm trying to teach as I do the docket.
Very good.
Oh, Heather, I have a question since the
Sure.
judge is gone. There is a case, a Judge Martin trial case that I think it's Jalen. It's Jalen Williams King. Would the court file be like in the file room, or does the judge keep it once it's set for trial?
Nope, she doesn't keep them.
Okay, I need to see that file before I leave today.
What's the last name?
It's a hyphenated name. It's Williams King.
Williams King.
Yeah. It's
Ms.
scheduled
New,
for-
do you need to speak to Ms. Gillis now, or you're ready on that case?
So Mr. Loy has private counsel, and it may actually be Attorney Daniel Bitter. He doesn't remember the attorney's last name, but is it Daniel?
We have Danielle Catteroy. Is that it?
That may be it. Does that sound right, Mr. Loy?
Jane, it's April 29th. You need to see that docket or that file.
I need to see the individual file.
Okay, I'll have somebody bring it to you.
Thank you.
Yep. Mr. Loy, you don't know who your attorney is?
Her name is Danielle. That's all I know.
Because I have Danielle Catteroy in our wing. Okay, I'll bring her in just a minute.
Okay.
Judge, we are ready on Mr. Guzman. I do have APA Cox here.
This is 210444 FY, State of Michigan versus Salvador Guzman.
Good morning, Your Honor. Carmen
Appearances.
Cox on behalf of the people, P81911.
Good morning, Your Honor. William Amadeo, P76194, on behalf of Mr. Guzman. We're present via Zoom and waive our right to be present in person.
Mr. Guzman, state your name for me, please.
The Mexican American defense attorneys. What's
Hello, what's mine?
our name?
Yes.
There was
Today is
some
the day and time set for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding?
We have reached a resolution, Your Honor. I'll let the people put that on the record.
Yes, Your Honor, there would be a charge reduction where Mr. Guzman would plead guilty to 1 count of assault and battery. The people would agree to dismiss the CSC4 charge. There'd be a sense agreement where Mr. Guzman would serve 2 years probation, complete sex offender counseling and treatment, and have no contact with the complainant, Jasmine Jett.
That's an accurate recitation, Your Honor.
Mr. Guzman, please raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Were you able to hear the attorneys just now?
Yes. Huh? Yes. Yes.
You understand that the offer from the prosecutor and the agreement from Mr. Amadeo is that you will be pleading guilty to the added count of assault and battery, and the original charge of criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree, would be dismissed.
Yes.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I understand.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Guzman, is it true that on January 3rd, 2020 in Huron Township, you committed an assault and battery against one Jasmine Jett?
Yes.
Mr. Amadeo, would you like to inquire further of your client, sir?
No, Your Honor, I'm satisfied.
Satisfied, Ms. Cox?
Yes, Your Honor. And I just want to note for the record, I believe that Mr. Guzman does have an interpreter with him.
He does, and his interpreter and I have been in communication. He's relayed everything. He does understand everything that's happened today.
Other than that, Ms. Cox, I'm sorry, you said you were satisfied with the plea?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Guzman, the court accepts your plea to the assault and battery. The CSC 4th degree original charge will be dismissed. So other than 2 years of probation, sex offender treatment, and no contact with Jasmine Jett, were there any other agreements reached by and between the parties?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Is there any reason why we couldn't proceed to sentencing this morning?
No, I'm fine with that, Judge.
I would be fine with that, Your Honor. I don't know whether the victim wanted to be present though, or give an impact statement to the court. The last time I spoke with her, she said that she might want to, so I would have just wanted to confirm that.
So let's do this. I will send the matter to probation to send a letter to the victim in this case to see if she did either want to have be present or submit a written victim's impact statement. They're the ones that will schedule this matter for sentencing, okay?
Perfect.
Yes,
And
yes, Your Honor.
do you have an updated contact for her? Would you like me to email the court with that information?
You can either email it or you can chat this morning directly to Heather only.
Okay.
Anything else on behalf of the people?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Amadeo?
No, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Guzman, we'll see you back here for sentencing, okay?
Thank you.
Mr. Guzman, you can leave now. Thank you, sir. Mr. Loy's attorney, did we find out who that was?
It's Miss Catteray, Judge.
Good morning.
Thank you. Is Ms. Morsizian? She's still with us? Is she in a breakout room maybe? Let me look. I don't see her.
Judge, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're talking to me. I'm trying to call Mr. O'Donnell regarding Mr. Merritt's case. He's not going to be able to appear.
Nope, I was looking for Ms. Morsizian so we could call Mr. Loy's case, and I just don't see her.
Oh, I don't see her either.
But we'll sit tight. I have Mr. Loy's file right here. When the prosecutor pops back on, we'll get the case called and get him on his way. Is there anyone here?
Mr. O'Donnell would like to know if he can handle his case over the phone. I don't know if you want me to pull Mr. Merritt in. Miss Doa,
What do you mean over the phone?
He wants me to put him on speaker.
Why won't he zoom in?
Because he's kind of busy. He was supposed to be in one place and now he needs to be downtown, and he just parked his car, so he's running into the building downtown. So I asked him if he was aware of today's appointment at 9:30, and he said he was, but he's had conflicts.
That's non-responsive, but I'll take it. You want to put him on speakerphone?
I can try to figure that. I can put
I'm not sure why he won't just call in the Zoom.
I don't either. Do you want me to tell him to? Because he might need to speak to his client.
That's not your job.
Okay, all right, I'll tell him. Thank you.
I'm not trying to make it difficult for anybody other than the fact that this is scheduled and has been scheduled, and it's not fair to add an additional duty to you. In this case, if he can get in the corner of whatever court he's at and zoom in long enough to do this hearing, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, I'll let him know. Thank you. Judge, sorry, he had to hang up with me. He's in court.
Heather, however you want to do it is how you want to do it. If you're okay putting him on speakerphone, that's.
Well,
your
I have to
call.
wait now. Yeah, that's fine. He has to, he's got other matters taken care of.
Understood. Do we have, it looks like we still have some stragglers for 9 o'clock. I haven't seen Edwards from 8:45 or Adams from 9, Grooms from 9. Lopes or Nobles from 9.
No.
I'm just saying that so I can flip the page and get to the 9:15s. Nobles,
Yep.
nope, 9:30, Cooper. Horde, Loy.
Yeah, Mr. Loy and Miss Carteret, and Sona's in the breakout room with Mr. Sullivan.
Okay.
We have Adam Carter. I can find out who his attorney is. Let's see. Oh, it says it's Miss Quick, and Miss Quick's not here. Let me bring in Hannah Bear and see who she's on.
Thank you.
Hannah, what case are you here on, please?
I am here on Ronald Morris. So I was just looking at the ROA and I guess it's at 10:30, not 10.
Yes, and he's not in the breakout, in the waiting room. Otherwise, I would bring him in. Judge, I'm going to bring in some of these people because I looked up their names and I'm not finding them.
Thank you.
Sorry, Hannah, that I cut you off.
Oh, no problem. I was just going to let the court know that I might be called into a preliminary exam shortly. And I'll be back as soon as I can if that happens at 10:30.
Okay. APA, my check. What case are you here on, please?
Good morning. I'm assisting APA Al-Hawashi on People v. Robert Merritt.
Okay. We haven't called the case yet. We're still waiting for his attorney.
All right, I'll be standing by.
Thank you. Cheryl Jackson, what case are you here on, please? Cheryl Jackson.
Oh, I'm Carlene Grooms.
You're Carl. Okay. Okay. Your attorney is in a breakout room right now. When he gets on, we will let him know that you are here.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm going to bring in there's a couple more.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. How are you, sir? Good.
Devin Harding, what are you here on? Oh, are they in a hospital room?
Took Heather, lost to her. What's wrong? You sound.
Devin Harding.
What time are they supposed to be here? They are. I said, what time? Oh, I don't know. Maybe they weren't. You think they were good to start and get all the, I don't know. You can just leave it unsecured here. You can't do that everywhere. You can, but you can't come back to nothing. Well, I saw them drop the stuff that said fragile, which made me laugh. I was like, fragile-ish. Yeah. Fragile adjacent. Oh, I guess maybe you have to, but the boxes were soaked, like they were in a truck for uncovered for a week.
Ramon Young, what are you here on, please?
I'm here for arraignment, I believe it's called.
Oh, yep, I see you. Sorry. Attorney Kirkland is your attorney.
Okay.
And I see her now. Jen Toro, what are you here for, please?
I got a letter from Romulus
Ford.
Court just saying that.
HORD, Heather.
I'm sorry.
HORD is how it's on our docket.
Oh, Jennifer Horde, HORD.
Yes, at 9:45 is Toro.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any luck on raising Sona?
Nope. I'm gonna join them and ask if they're almost done.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. You don't have
okay.
I thought she was.
She's in with Mr. Sullivan speaking about his
Thank you. I thought
clients.
she was. I didn't see her at the bottom there. Okay.
Yep. So I don't know if you want to handle Miss Horde. It's a misdemeanor.
We can, because Mr. Bitar turned his screen back on. Which means hurry up, Judge. These are 2S4022-834 A and B, State of Michigan versus Jennifer Horde. Ms. Toro, sorry. Which is the correct name, ma'am?
Well, I haven't changed my social security card yet, so I'm assuming that it'd be Toro instead of Horde right now. But one of my driver's license, I was in the process of changing it. So one of my driver's license does say Horde and the other one does say Toro. But on my social security card, it does say Toro.
The files are Horde, but clearly I saw Toro somewhere because I knew that was the correct. Anyway, in any event, ma'am, sorry for the site. This is an arraignment pretrial. Ma'am, it's alleged that on February 17, 2022, Michigan State Police found you in Huron Township to have either no license or multiple licenses. This is a misdemeanor. There was also an equipment violation, defective or missing. I think it was a rear tail light on that day. That's a civil infraction. For purposes of your arraignment, were you looking to proceed on your own this morning, or were you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney?
I guess on my own.
Okay, ma'am. And so for your arraignment, how would you like to proceed?
On my own.
Okay, guilty, not guilty, stand mute.
I'm guilty. I was driving with no license and I did not have a tail light. That is correct.
Ms. Horde, I'm going to see you into a breakout room with Mr. Bitar. Speak to him and see if he's able to give you some assistance in this matter.
Okay.
Can I ask ahead of time, is Ms. Horde a CDL? Are you a commercial driver or just a regular driver?
I'm just a regular driver.
Okay.
Which were we proceeding on, Mr. Sullivan?
We are, I think Ms. Movsisian and I are prepared to address on Mr. Edwards is not in yet. And I see that Mr. Grooms is here. So actually, before we proceed on either, could I have a breakout room with Mr. Grooms, and hopefully Mr. Edwards will be on the Zoom when I get back.
Thank you.
Mr. Sullivan, if you can go back in that same room, I'll put you in.
Ma'am, are you ready? I'm sorry, Heather.
Sorry, I didn't know if you needed to speak to, if I'm to put Sona and Miss Catteray in a breakout room.
And who, I'm sorry?
Miss Catteray.
Miss Catteray for Lloyd.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Judge.
I'm sorry. I forget that you are. I don't usually have a vocal assistant. That's all.
Sorry. And I'm very vocal.
No, don't be sorry. It means I can be quiet.
Now we have Miss Kirkland for Mr. Young, Young.
I'm also here on Mr. Smith as well.
Who's Mr. Smith?
Daniel Smith.
Oh, I see that. Thank you.
That's mine.
But he's not here.
They're both 10:15. So, but
Okay.
Mr. Young is here. We'll get going on Mr. Young. Give me 1 second.
What time was Mr. Young? Can someone tell me?
10:15.
10:15. You found it?
Oh.
While she's looking, this is 220071 FY, State of Michigan versus Ramon Young. May I have your appearance, please?
Ken Gillis on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Neighborhood Defender Service by Kashava Kirkland on behalf of Mr. Young, P84015.
Young, state your name for the court, please, sir.
Ramon Marquise Young.
Thank you. Ms. Kirkland, for purposes of arraignment, how do you wish to proceed, ma'am?
Your Honor, we stand mute and waive the formal reading.
I'm like, I'm new, but I know how to work on it.
There was a bond recommendation for 5,000 personal. Ms. Young, I'm sorry, Ms. Kirkland, is there any comment you want to make about bond?
No objection to the personal bond, Your Honor.
5,000 personal. Mr. Young, you don't need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at your future court dates.
Okay.
For purposes of PCC.
So at this time, I have paper discovery. I have not received digital discovery. So I just ask, I'm not sure how far out this court is setting preliminary exams, but if it would be soon, I'd ask for another PCC date for time to receive that discovery. If it's going to be set out pretty far, I don't mind just setting it for exam and following up to receive digital.
Pretty far out is relative. So Ms. Kirkland, how long of an adjournment would you like on the PCC to get the digital discovery?
Can we do a week adjournment?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
1 week puts you back here with me on March 16th, 2022 at 10:45 a.m. in courtroom number 1. We still are by Zoom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else on behalf of the people? Ms. Gillis, you're muted. Anything else, Ms. Kirkland?
I just asked for a breakout room with Mr. Young. I don't have any contact info. So I'm not sure if you wanted to do that before we handled Mr. Smith or after, but I just asked for a breakout room.
You go to breakout room with him now, but before you leave, is there anything else in Mr. Young's matter?
Nothing else.
So that when you're done with him, you can release him from the breakout room and he'll be all set. I'll see you back here next week.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are we ready on Loy now?
We are.
This is 220163 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Zachary Loy. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Sonam Offician on behalf of the people, P83923.
Good morning, Danielle Catteray on behalf of Zachary Loy, P77162.
Mr. Loy, state your name for the record, please, sir.
Zachary Russell Loy.
Thank you, sir. Today is a day and time set for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Judge, go ahead.
We're going to demand a preliminary exam. I did ask the prosecutor for discovery. She said that she would get that to me tomorrow.
So even though discovery is outstanding, you want a preliminary exam date?
Yes.
Okay. That exam date will be April the 27th, 2022 at 1 p.m. in courtroom number 1. Anything else on behalf of the people?
Yes, Judge, I would like to address bond if that's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I have spoken with the complainant in this case, Miss Ashley Akey, and she has relayed to me that she would like the no contact order to be amended to no assaultive contact. The complainant and the defendant share 5 children or have 5 children in common, and she would like for the defendant to be able to see the children. So she is comfortable with a no assaultive contact order and for the defendant to return to the residence in order to see the children.
Any objection to that, to those amendments, Ms. Cordray?
No.
Court will grant the prosecution's request to amend the bond to no assaultive contact and further indicate that the defendant may return to the address for visitation with the children. Anything else on behalf of the people?
Judge, may you just say the time of the preliminary exam again?
1
Hi,
p.m.
Altumas. April 27th at 1 p.m., correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Mr. Lloyd. See you in April.
Thank you very much, Judge.
And Judge, I don't know if you like 12:30 to be your beginning. Otherwise, you have 11:30 on both those days. I just didn't know how soon you wanted me to add your exam docket.
I'll give away the 11:30s. That's fine with me if they
Okay.
come up. And I'm assuming that next week we'll have the same issue, but for right now, we'll leave Mr. Lloyd at 1 p.m.
Yes, okay. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I was just letting you know how I did it. Thank you.
How
I
far is that
appreciate
from
it.
that
Thank you,
training
ma'am.
place?
Are we ready, on grooms?
Yes, Judge.
You know what's interesting?
What's interesting?
I muted her.
I know, thank you. 220156 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Carleen Grooms. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Sonam Movsisian on behalf of the people, P83923.
Morning, Judge, Neighborhood Defender Service, P84261. Andrew Sullivan here on behalf of Carleen Grooms. We are present by Zoom, have no objection to appearing by Zoom. Mr. Grooms is appearing from the Elmhurst Homes, a residential treatment center. Mr. Grooms, can you state your name for the record?
Carleen Grooms.
Today is the day and time set for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Movsisian and I have discussed the matter briefly, and I expect that Ms. Movsisian is going to be sending me discovery here shortly. I don't have it yet, so I'm requesting an adjourned PCC, perhaps just 2 weeks for me to receive that discovery and then discuss it with Mr. Grooms.
PCC will be adjourned to March the 23rd at 9:45 a.m. That's with Judge Oakley in courtroom number 2. 9:45 on March the 23rd for Mr. Grooms. Anything else in this matter on behalf of the people?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just like to briefly mention the complainant is also on Zoom, and I have had several communications with her. It appears that the defendant has continuously contacted the complainant throughout this past week through the telephone. And so we would just like for the judge to reiterate what the no contact order means and what sort, if none, communication should be happening between the parties.
Mr. Grooms is continuing to contact Dorothy Knox.
Yes.
Mr. Grooms.
Yes.
When you were arraigned, it was a judge that is not a judge in this building. Did that judge advise you that there is a no contact order in place as to Miss Dorothy Knox?
Yes, ma'am.
No contact, sir, means no contact. That means no direct contact. No contact through social media, no contact through third persons, understood?
Yeah.
Mr. Grooms, this court is going to make a notation in the file that you have been advised again that you are to have no contact with Ms. Knox between now and the time that you appear in front of Judge Oakley on March 23rd. If there is another report that you are continuing to make contact or efforts at contact with Ms. Knox, Judge Oakley might consider that a violation of your bond and revoke your bond so that you can spend the rest of this case in custody, understood? Anything else on behalf of the people?
No, that is all. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Sullivan?
No, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Grooms, we'll see you back here on March the 23rd.
All right.
Judge, I'm bringing in Mr. O'Donnell and Merritt.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
This is 210960FY. This is State of Michigan versus Robert Merritt. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Doel Huishi for the people. My P number is 82089.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jonathan Mysick, P74620, also on behalf of the people.
And Mr. O'Donnell is not connected.
Oh. But we will stay here while he connects because I know that the family is present. Mr. O'Donnell?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
I'm good. Your appearance, sir.
James O'Donnell, Neighborhood Defender Services, P 42585. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Robert Merritt.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I can hear you now.
State your name, sir.
Robert Merritt.
Today is the day and time set for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Judge, we're requesting a preliminary exam, and I'd ask the court to set it out several weeks because the discovery is extensive and I need to discuss it with Mr. Merritt.
I am looking at March 31st for a live exam in this matter. Madam Prosecutor, are you available on that date?
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Mysick, are you available on that date?
Your Honor.
Mr. O'Donnell, are you available on that date?
Just a moment. I have 2 trial readiness reviews in the morning. What time would this court be holding this exam if we were to schedule it on that date?
We could do it in the afternoon at 1 o'clock if the prosecutors are available at that time.
I am, Judge. I will say that I anticipate this being a lengthy examination, so I don't know if that impacts whether or not we could maybe move up the time.
How many witnesses are you anticipating, ma'am?
I have 6 witnesses that I plan to call. We can pare that down depending on whether or not defense counsel is willing to stipulate to a few things, and we can address that once it's appropriate, Judge.
So how early would you like to start, given Mr. O'Donnell's schedule?
But as soon as he can get it on, I think those should be able to be handled virtually, so I don't think that should be an issue.
I'm sorry.
Maybe
What do you mean by handled virtually?
The trial readiness, is that just stuff you have to sign on to Third Circuit Court and just kind of check in with the judges? That's what I assumed.
I always assume trial readiness has to do with Third Circuit. I thought we were talking about getting ready for the exam on the 31st in district court.
Well, let me Would it be helpful for the two of you to go into a breakout room right now to address these 6 witnesses?
Yes, Judge. And also, could I ask the court, does the court have any available days in April?
I did not look at my April schedule, Mr. O'Donnell, but I can do that. If you would go into the breakout room with the prosecutors, I keep saying Mary Ann, Heather, I'm gonna go grab some other schedules.
I will,
for an
Judge.
April date. Thank you.
Yeah.
April.
While they're gone, oh, are we? What's going on? Miss Irwin's here. You guys are too much for me.
Judge, for the case,
Ma'am?
actually, for Lonnie Davis, I was able to get my officer there at 12:30. I will also be there then if we're able to, start then. It should be done within half an hour.
Yeah. I hate to do this to you, but if you go downstairs, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to point at you like that. If you go downstairs, there's a Zoom computer and they can put you in with Ms. Moisizian. And if you want to talk down there, you can. I'd appreciate it.
Judge, the reason I came is because, I had this problem. And I still have the problem. I still have to be at 36. So hopefully I can work something out. I understand now, I found out that Mr. Davis has a federal OLA. So I was sensitive to the fact that he was locked up, and I wanted to get out here and address that.
Okay. If you go downstairs, ask the officers to put you into the Zoom room and they'll get you there and you can go into a breakout room with her and see if you're able to come up with something. Thank you. Mr. Batar and Ms. Toro,
Yes, Judge,
are we ready to go back on the record in that case?
we are.
Let's do it.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Ford, Your Honor.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
She is
For
going to
purposes of
accept.
arraignment, Mr. Batar, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge, you're correct. Waive a formal reading and stand mute, please.
Ms. Toro, state your name again for the record, ma'am.
Jennifer Toro.
Thank you. Waive formal reading, stand mute. Bond is 1,000 personal. Ms. Toro, you don't need to post any money, but what you must do is return to any future court dates. For purposes of pretrial, Mr. Batar.
Your Honor, my client is going
You
to.
broke up. I
plead-
didn't.
I'm sorry, I heard something else. My client is going to plead to allowing an unlicensed person to drive, Your Honor. The original charges will be dismissed.
Ma'am, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
You had the opportunity to meet with Mr. Batar this morning,
Yes, I did.
and it's your understanding that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, and the original charge will be dismissed.
Yes, I do.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, I do.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
Nope.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, I am.
Ma'am, is it true that on February 17, 2022, in Huron Township, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, I did.
Satisfied, Ms. Gillis?
Satisfied.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and will dismiss the original count. The court will also impose a fine of $200, cost of $100. There's $75 crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee. That's a total of $445. Are you able to pay that within 5 days?
No, I am not.
Heather, I don't think that we have collections on this morning.
Nope, just
We
have her
do
go to the
not.
website.
Ms. Toro, you're gonna go to the court's website. There is a drop-down box that allows you to submit a payment plan. Please
Okay.
do that.
Is it
Anything
a
else on
30?
behalf of the people?
Your Honor.
Or anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Toro, were you asking a question, ma'am?
Yeah, what's the website that I have to go to? Just the 31st District Court?
It's MI 34th District Court. I'm sorry, it's 34th District Court -mi.org.
Okay,
And on the main website, there is a place for you to contact the court. And when you contact, it says request for payment plan. You can submit your payment plan that way.
okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Are they back?
They are not, but I do have Miss Quick with Mr. Carter, and she says they are prepared and ready to go.
Thank you.
How do I leave this?
I'll remove you, Miss Horde.
Thank you, Heather.
Mhm.
I'm just looking, I have a possible date for Merritt, and I just want to make sure that that's okay. Just checking another calendar. Carter, thank you. Oh, this is 220124 FD and 220051 FD. These are both State of Michigan versus Adam Carter. May I have your appearances, please?
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Neighborhood Defender Service by Cheryl Quick, P83973 on behalf of Adam Carter. Mr. Carter is also present via Zoom.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Would you state your name for me, please?
Adam Carter.
Thank you. Ms. Quick, for purposes of arraignment in these matters, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, we are still in need of digital discovery, body worn camera footage, any dash cam footage or in-car footage of Mr. Carter's both the cases.
Maybe I misspoke. For purposes of arraignment, how are we proceeding?
We waive formal reading and stay mute.
Thank you. There were bond recommendations in both files for bond to be set at 5,000, 10%. Ms. Quick, your comment as to the bond recommendation.
Your Honor, we would ask for a personal bond. I've been in touch with Mr. Carter from the beginning. I have no trouble getting in touch with him. He's local. He's not a flight risk. He's always appeared for court. He's here this morning. So I don't know that the court's gonna have any trouble getting him to appear for an exam.
Bond will be set in these matters at 5,000 personal. Mr. Carter, you don't need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at all future court dates. The court is going to add a condition of no alcohol. Do not purchase, possess, consume any alcohol. These offenses are June 18, 2021 and July 3rd, 2021. They both have allegations including alcohol. So for purposes of PCC, Ms. Quick, you were starting to say that no discovery.
Yes, Your Honor, we have paper discovery on each of the files, but we do not have any body worn camera footage or dash cam footage. I believe both would be relevant.
I will get those by the end of the week, if there is any, and so we could just send another PCC in a couple weeks or a week or
That would
two.
be fine.
How far out do you want to go?
If we can have the rest of the discovery by the end of the week, then I would say the week of the 21st would be fine.
It looks like those time slots are full. I'm just double checking. We'll go to March 30th at 8:45.
That's fine, Your Honor.
March 30th at 8:45 a.m. That's in courtroom number 2 with Judge Oakley.
Very good. Thank you.
Anything else on behalf of the people?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Quick?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Carter, we'll see you back here on March 30th, 8:45 in courtroom number 2.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day now.
Thank you. You too,
Thank you.
sir.
Bye-bye.
Did Mr. O'Donnell come back?
Judge, I don't know if he's still in the breakout room. Are you able to tell, or if we lost him?
I'll try to bring him back in.
He's still in the breakout room. I'm looking at April the 12th.
Judge, so once he gets back on, we can address that. I think March 31st is the date that we'd like to keep.
He's back. On the record in 210960 FY, Robert Merritt. The parties have been in the breakout room discussing the witnesses for the exam. What's the update?
Dang it, excuse me.
Judge, thanks for allowing us to do that. We've received a couple stipulations that I would like to place on the record. So far, we're looking at 5 witnesses, Judge, and we would like to keep the March 31st exam date for 1 o'clock in the afternoon, if that's possible.
That's correct, Your Honor.
March 31st at 1 p.m. live exam here in courtroom number 1. And the stipulations, ma'am.
Yes, I believe that defense counsel has agreed to stipulate that the victim in this case is the body that was examined in ME report number 2111206, Mia Howard.
That's a correct statement.
And Judge, I also believe that Mr. O'Donnell has agreed to stipulate that the person who pulled the crash video in this case will not need to appear at exam to either establish foundation or authentication with respect to that crash video, that we'll be able to admit that as an exhibit.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And Judge, just for the record, because I'm going through the PCC form, we will be admitting the ME report in this case, case number 2111206, pursuant to statute, and the MSP lab report for this incident, also pursuant to that same statute, which is MCL 76611B.
I've made the notation of those stipulations in the file. Anything else, Madam Prosecutor?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. O'Donnell?
No, not at this time.
The court will note for the record that there is a Phil Howard here. He has been here on Zoom. Mr. Howard, I just wanted to acknowledge your attendance this morning. Make sure that you heard the date of March 31st at 1 p.m.
I did, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Anybody else?
No, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate your time.
No, Your
We're all
Honor.
set. See you here on March the 31st.
Very well. Mr. Merritt, I'll be talking to you later.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ms. Mosizian, you've spoken to Ms. Irwin?
Yes, I believe she was going to come upstairs. She agreed to a waiver.
She hasn't made it back up. Court officers keep walking through, so as soon as they come up, I'll get you called.
Okay, wonderful.
Mr. Merritt, you're all set, sir. You may leave.
Okay, you have a good day, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Yes, ma'am.
I think Heather's ignoring my chats. I don't know how I feel about that.
She's getting too many. I just sent her one.
Jane and I responded.
Yep, can you give me a moment? Yes, sir. I'm just trying to get out of this Zoom that I'm in right now.
Did you need me to remove you, Mr. O'Donnell?
Yes, please do. I'm having problems with my phone.
Sure.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Yep.
Yes, Heather, that is my legitimate question.
But it's like that every week lately.
No, it's not.
On my last one, I think it was.
I'm getting heckling from the peanut gallery.
I'm sure that you enjoy having a vocal.
Court officers keep walking through.
Is Tyrone Bickert still on?
No,
No.
he's not. I don't
He
think
said an
most people
exam,
understand.
and I just got notice from the OIC that his wife's having a baby right around the due date of the exams.
He's not the one having the baby. I'm sorry. The April 20th date.
Yeah, it's, paternity leave these days. I just wanted to put that out there so Tyrone Bickert knows. Maybe she won't have the baby. Maybe it'll be a couple days late and it'll be fine. But, the men get paternity leave now. It's true. True that, right?
No one ever gave me paternity leave.
Hey, nobody gave me maternity leave, Dan. I took 1 week after having the baby because I was self-employed.
I don't
Times
think
are different.
I don't even think we get maternity leave now unless we work for those days.
No, you get 12 weeks.
But I think we have to then work to get those days. Additional, no? Okay, then I've been.
It's by law.
Okay.
If you get disability for 12 weeks.
We'll just put a pack and play in the courtroom. That's I'm advocating for. I don't think most people know that my secretary's gone. And so Judge Oakley was kind enough to lend Heather to me today. And I haven't worked a whole docket with Heather ever, but I wanted to thank her while we're still in the throes of this because we had a heavy docket today and she is phenomenal and fantastic. And I don't know who's chatting her, but she's moving people around and today is going swimmingly. So thank you, ma'am.
I concur with that, Judge.
There's no bonus or raise coming. I just like to put it out there. She's fantastic at what she does.
Everybody knows Heather in our office, Judge. It's prosecutor's office. Everybody knows Heather. You need something, you call Heather.
I know she's laughing because she comes busting in my office. She's the only one that comes in my side door. I know it's her every time.
I am laughing and listening to all of you all.
I don't know what happened to the court officers. Ms. Irwin is here and we have a lull in the action. This would be a good time to get this part completed.
Yes.
I think so too, but.
Also, have we, Mr. Sullivan, have you heard from Mr. Edwards?
We're ready if we have a moment. Thanks.
Not
He's right
since
here waiting for you all.
before
Thank you.
court
Bye-bye.
this morning, and so I'm not actually sure what's going on.
Okay, because that's my last one, so I'm just waiting on that.
Yeah, we can address when Judge Martin, if I may address on Courtney Edwards. I spoke with him this morning, and then now I have not been able to reestablish contact with him, and I'm not sure why he's not on Zoom. But I have spoken with Ms. Movsissi, and then we have.
This is 210825 FY, State of Michigan versus Courtney Edwards.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sonia Movsissi on behalf of the people, P83923.
Good morning, Judge. Neighborhood Defender Service, Andrew Sullivan, P84261, here representing Courtney Edwards. I spoke with Mr. Edwards earlier this morning. Unfortunately, he's not on Zoom right now. I will do my best to explain if the court is willing to consider waiving his appearance.
Madam Prosecutor? Any
Judge,
objection?
no objection. Mr. Sullivan has had plenty of contact with the defendant.
Thank you.
Yes, Judge, I appreciate that. Mr. Edwards and I have been discussing opportunities for treatment, and Mr. Edwards is very interested in treatment, and the prosecution has been kind to agree to Veterans Court. We are just, I think, working out the specifics of exactly how the treatment plan will work. Unfortunately, this is the first case where I've had a referral to Veterans Court, and so I've been learning as I'm going. And so Mr. Edwards had some concerns about the terms of Veterans Court. I'm hopeful that if Your Honor would grant us an adjournment of 2 weeks to March 23rd, that I'd be able to answer Mr. Edwards' questions or work with Ms. Movsissi about another treatment program. We'd be hopeful that we'd either be on the 23rd, that we'd be making a decision to either set the case for an exam or waive the exam and proceed to circuit court and Veterans Court.
23rd is actually kind of heavy, so we can put it over to March the 30th.
That's okay with me, Judge, yeah.
That works for me as well.
Thank you. We will adjourn the PCC to March the 30th, 2022 at 9:15 a.m. And that will be with Judge Oakley in courtroom number 2. Anything else on behalf of the people?
No, that is all. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Sullivan?
You said 9:15?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you, Judge. Nothing further.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You as well.
Thank you. This is 210888 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Lonnie Ray Davis.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sonia Movsissi on behalf of the people, P83123.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sally Irwin on behalf of Mr. Davis, who stands to my right.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Lonnie Ray Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. This matter was actually scheduled for a live preliminary examination this afternoon at 1 p.m. The court has received an indication from the parties that we will not be proceeding with that exam this afternoon. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Davis, you've had an opportunity to speak to Ms. Irwin regarding this case.
Yes.
And you understand that you have an absolute right to have a preliminary examination in this matter where the prosecutor would have to prove that both a crime had been committed and that probable cause existed to believe that you were involved in the commission of that crime? You have to say it. Thank you. And sir, you wish to waive your right to have that examination?
Yes.
You understand that if you waive this examination, the next step in these proceedings is that you will be arraigned on the information at the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. And sir, you're doing this freely and voluntarily. No one's threatened you anything, promised you anything to get you to waive this examination?
No.
Ms. Movsissi, do you have any objection to this waiver of this examination?
No, Your Honor.
I am passing the file down to Ms. Irwin so that she and her client may both waive this afternoon's preliminary examination. When it comes back to the court, the next step is that I will sign the waiver as well. Mr. Davis will be bound over as charged to the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice for that arraignment on the information that will happen 1 week from today, that being March the 16th, 2022 at 9 a.m. The court officer is bringing the file back. I will sign the waiver and we will proceed as indicated. Is there,
Oh, excuse me. Did you say the 15th or 16th?
I said the 16th, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Is there anything else on behalf of the prosecution?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Irwin?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Do we need to address bond in this matter?
Judge, there's a federal hold on, I think that's a moot point.
I forgot that you said that earlier. Thank you, ma'am. The waiver is signed. The court officers will take Mr. Davis back and get him processed to be returned. Anything else? No. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge Martin. I will see you in about an hour.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Until next we meet.
Judge, I don't see
No
any,
worries, ma'am. I understand.
Judge, this is Dan. I don't see any arraignment pre-trials scheduled any longer this morning. It's 11 o'clock. Do you think I'm free to go now? I got to get over to Judge Green for a couple of sentences.
You are, I understand. If something comes up, I think Heather knows how to get a hold of you, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you. Ms. Kirkland, we were waiting for Mr. Smith.
No, so he's in NDOC.
Maybe
So
I'm
I
not
don't, I'm
asking
not,
the question the right way. Your client is actually Mr. Smith, though?
yes, Daniel
Okay,
Smith.
that's what I meant. I'm sorry. He's an MDOC and we did not make arrangements.
I'm assuming that I just found out last week. So I was gonna ask for an adjourned PCC to give time to make contact with him and also to receive digital discovery.
This is 220069FY, State of Michigan versus Daniel Scott Smith. Heather, is a week enough time or do we need to put this over longer?
Your Honor, I'd request a little bit longer, 2 weeks to give time for me to make contact with him. I'll have to arrange, my understanding is that he's in Jackson, arrange with Jackson to get a meeting scheduled with him.
Understood. 2 weeks puts us on.
I'm
March
sorry,
the
Judge, what was
23rd.
the date on that?
It's going to be March the 23rd. Ms. Kirkland indicated 2 weeks, and so
I will
March
work on the
23rd.
MDOC, yep.
At 8:30 a.m. That will be courtroom number 2 with Judge Oakley. Defendants at Jackson.
Yes, I want to say Parnell, yeah, he's at Parnell CF prison.
The file will go to Heather. She'll work her magic. Anything else on behalf of the people? Anything else, Ms. Kirkland?
Nothing else, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing, thank you.
ma'am. Have a good day.
You have a good one as well.
Thank you. What is this attorney here for?
It's for your formal hearing, I think.
We're not
Yeah, your
doing
formal
formal
hearing at
hearings.
11.
We're not doing formal hearings. What
You are.
talking about? Why did you tell? There's the officers here. Do you want to bring them in and get them mated up with Jane? I don't see anybody else from the earlier docket.
Yep.
Thank you.
Jane, I'll put you in a breakout room with them.
Okay.
Heather, while they are gone, we have 21BL00892 A and B. These are State of Michigan versus Joshua Kenneth Adams. These matters were scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial. They were scheduled at 9 a.m. It's now 11:04 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear again. Court will leave it as show cause arraignment pretrials, not issuing a bench warrant at this point. There is no insurance under the insurance code and a registration or plate violation. This is 2S4017229ST. This is State of Michigan versus David Earl Lopes. This matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:14 a.m. It's now 11:06 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant has failed to appear. Underlying crime being operating no license, multiple license. Matter will be set for show cause. These are 2S4010116 A, B, and C. These are State of Michigan versus Zandra Nobles. The matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning at 9:15. It is now 11:06 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Underlying allegations being operating unregistered vehicle, motor vehicle operating without security, and no license, multiple license. Matters will be set for show cause. Thank you, sir.
CDL tickets. He acts like he goes, wasn't witnessed, doesn't matter.
So
I've scored like 3 times under the trash can.
Just go straight. So they just want that.
Like a basketball player to me.
Why did she mute herself? I want to hear the rest of that story.
You heard the whole story.
Is Mr. Resmambatov? Sorry.
He's driving, so we're gonna seek an adjournment on this because he can't pull over. It'd be unsafe for him to pull over.
He's driving for how long?
And his English isn't the best, Your Honor. So I gotta talk.
I'm asking because I'm here, the prosecutor's here and the officer's here at the scheduled hearing time as requested by the defendant.
He is a CDL driver, Your Honor. Like he drives
I
forward.
understand.
Okay.
And actually, I for whatever reason thought it was set for the 11th, and that was the major problem. I thought we set it for the 11th last time, Your Honor, so I apologize.
I'll
for
call it. That's okay. This is 21 HR 12429 SI. State of Michigan versus Rismabatak.
Yes,
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
yes. Steve Mamet on behalf of the defendant.
This matter was scheduled for formal hearing today at 11 o'clock. I'll note that the officer is present. Defense counsel has indicated that the defendant is not available at this date at this time as previously scheduled by the court. Will be seeking an adjournment. How long of an adjournment do you need, sir?
30 days, Your Honor.
30 days. This is not a hallway.
30 days would be good. I'm away 2 weeks. So
The problem is that somebody else's docket, I cannot set a formal hearing on that date. What is April 20th?
Perfect.
April 20th at 11? We'll see if the officer is available.
you available?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be available.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, April 20th at 11.
Okay.
Get a better device. You're barely audible, officer. Okay.
I'll let our chief know.
Okay. Do it on your iPhone.
Yeah.
April 20th at 11. Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Sure, yeah. Do we have a Bryant or a Morris case up?
Morris is, what happened to her? Miss Barron was here.
She said she had a live exam that she was going to have to go away to.
Okay.
And then I have 2 misdemeanors, Dockery and Duzman.
Dockery we did that early pre-trial, March 16th at 9:30.
Okay, thank you.
Singleton. No, Cooper. What happened to her? This is 220158 SM. This is State of Michigan versus Sony Cooper. This matter was scheduled for the pretrial this morning at 9:30. It's now 11:11 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant has failed to appear.
Ask for a bench warrant. May I ask, Your Honor, that Dockery that was set over to next week, is that a final pretrial or just a pretrial?
Just a pretrial.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Gillis, respectfully, the court is not going to issue bench warrant at this time. We'll set the matter for show cause. The arraignment just occurred on March 1st, 2022. And although Ms. Cooper was provided the date and time to appear, there was a language barrier, I do believe, of some type. We'll set the matter for show cause and get this matter, get notice out to Ms. Cooper. Hopefully she appears and we can get the matter rescheduled. I don't know that we ever got to the bottom of the language issue.
Yes. 1 out of 4 not making it in is good. You know, I'm getting pretty good at this basketball. At least basketball.
This is 2S402159O A, B, and C. These are State of Michigan versus Stephen Singleton. These matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:45. It is now 11:13 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, underlying allegations being basic speed, operating without security, DWS, driving while license suspended. Matters will be set for show cause. Crimes are not assault of any nature.
This one. 4 to 5 is bad.
Pretty good, actually.
That's like NBA style. Did I call this already? Is Kelly a girl or a boy? Girl. She's really good.
This is 220139 SM. This is State of Michigan versus Jacob Duzen. This matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 10 a.m. It is now 11:14 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Ms. Gillis.
Can we ask that a bench warrant be issued or show cause, whichever the court prefers?
Bench warrant shall issue in this matter 5,010%. The underlying allegation is assault or assault and battery. Mr. Duzen has a history of failing to appear in this court. The only other matter I have is the Morris matter. If Ms. Barron returns, we'll address it, but that concludes this court's morning docket.
Do we have I'm sorry to interrupt, but do we have oh, this must be Sona's case, Sandrea Bryant?
That one was adjourned. That is Sona's case.
Okay, they mixed us up. Okay, I'm gonna come in for a second, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.